The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Trudging. Hello. Let's put that down just a little bit. In a couple minutes here, I'll need to leave the camera and go close a window. So, it's a cat thing. It's a cat thing. All right, we have a lot of cats in this house, and there's two of them. They don't get along with everybody else, and so we have this sunroom, and I let the cats share it. So some part of the day, the four cats that are down here, I let them go out and enjoy it, and then halfway through the day, I bring those cats in, and I give them treats. The other ones, I give them treats, and it's just too cold to leave that window open and have them sitting in the cold. All right, so I'll have to run up and jump and go close that window here, and give it another minute or two. I hope you're all having a good day. Wasn't sure what to do, so I'm like, okay, well, let's go live. Let's just go live and see what happens. All right, you are live. Okay. Today, we're kind of doing today's daily reflection, kind of. Although I'm not going to read out of the 12. Probably not going to read out of the 12 by 12 because you're going to hear step 12 a lot. All right. And it usually goes off in a kind of in a different direction. So the key is to kind of take this stuff and keep it simple so that we can remember it. Right. There sometimes we'll be out there and we will have no mental defense against the first drink. And that's where all this other stuff comes in. That's where your practicing of the principles and everything else come in. All right. We're going to cover the principles themselves. Like all of our stuff, we have 12 of them. There's a principle. If you're a little bit newer, there's a principle behind each step. As I went through it, my sponsor utilized the principles. I'm going to check something here real quick because I'm not seeing any comments yet. So just making sure. All right. Nobody's chatted yet. So chat is probably working just fine then. Okay. Good. That is good stuff. All right. So we're going to talk about the principles. I believe I covered that. Excuse me. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching live or the rewatch. This is what happens when you down water right before you go live. I don't drink water. I down it. Just open up that gullet and drink it. So, yeah. But now I'm out of water. Yeah. Waiting for the EBT to kick in again. Should be soon. I don't know. In the meantime, there's plenty of water. So, all right. Okay. Before we get started, I'm going to run upstairs and go close that window real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Thank you for letting me do that. Did you did you sit there and watch my cat? Yeah. He's just sitting there. That's Ronan. He's trying to get my attention. I do not know why. There he goes. Pew! Zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So let's do today's daily reflection first. Let's do that first. All right. In all of our affairs, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all of our affairs. Maybe it'd be better to cover the principles, right? I do it often here because we need to know. I never go to an AA meeting and hear people talk about the principles. We might talk about principles before personalities, but we never really talk about the principles. Now, sometimes the principles are the topic. And these are great topics. Okay, so step one is honesty. We're going to go back through these: hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, brotherly love, justice, perseverance, spiritual awareness, and service. I will go back over those here shortly. Let's do this part first because I thought it was a pretty good reading today. I find that carrying the message of recovery to other alcoholics is easy because it helps me stay sober and provides me with a sense of well-being about my own recovery. Okay. So far, so good, right? The hard part is practicing these principles in all my affairs. Yeah. Yeah. You know, don't just practice the principles in the meetings. It's got to be, we have to go out there and be better. Yeah, I know people are doing stupid, silly things. It's none of your business, alcoholic. Your job now is to be of maximum service to everyone around you. That includes the guy that cut you off at traffic. It includes the person that took your cart before you. It's the person that stole your parking spot. Okay. All right. Got to practice these principles in all of our affairs, right? Because half measures don't get us anything. We do not receive anything about when we put half effort into what we are doing. It is important that I share the benefits I receive from AA, especially at home. Right? I had a friend. Well, I don't know that it was really my friend because when yeah, doesn't matter. It was somebody that they gave me a lot of compliments, and I'm very careful on people that do nothing but give me compliments. But anyway, but something they said is just that it stuck me. Is I give more grace to complete strangers than I do my own family, and how true it is. And there's a reason for this, okay? And it's actually not an alcoholic condition; it's a human condition that we will take our problems out on the people that we love the most, or the people that love us the most. And why do we do this? Because most people, not just alcoholics, a lot of people have a fear of abandonment. Now, being an alcoholic, we take this to the extreme. And that's why it says in the big book that living with an alcoholic for a while is bound to make anybody neurotic. Right? It's upside down. Does my family deserve the same patience, tolerance, and understanding I so readily give to an alcoholic? Well, I'm going to say a few things here. Not all of them. No. I'm sorry, but no. No, there's some things that I will not tolerate. You can cross. See, the thing is, I lived with the family. Things have happened. And this complete stranger has done nothing to me. All right. Now, I'm not talking about my wife or my kids or grandkids. No. No, there are some people in my family that no, they do not they don't receive much patience, tolerance, and understanding. I'm gonna have to admit it. Not sure that I'm totally willing. All right. I saw your request, Amber, but I don't know that I have it. And if I play it, I get in trouble. I might have something. No, I'll work on something for you here. No, it doesn't really give me much. But we can sing a little. All right. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, there you go. Request fulfilled. When I'm reviewing my day, I try and ask, did I have a chance to be a friend today and miss it? These are good questions, man. I sang it, haha. Did I have a chance to rise above a nasty situation and avoid it? Did I have a chance to say I'm sorry and refuse to? Just as I ask God for help with my alcoholism each day, I ask for help in extending my recovery to include all situations and all people. Right? Yeah. See, we've got to try and get to a place where we are all inclusive. In other words, I'm not going to treat this person any different. And I'm telling you, I'm still working on it myself. Right? I, but there were some people that abused me, and no, I have no patience or tolerance for them. But I don't go hang out with them either. You know, I don't do that. I don't try and interfere with their life. I don't, I decided to just go ahead and live my own life. Took my power back a few days ago. Feels nice, man. Feels nice to not be here and there and everywhere else. And now I'm taking requests for my singing voice must not be that bad if a little kid's asking me to requesting me to sing, so it must not be that bad. Let's go through the principles. It's been a while since I've done this. And I'll tell you why. Because it's challenging. It's hard to go through these, keep you entertained, and cover what we need to cover. Step one, honesty. The very first thing that an alcoholic lacks is our first principle. You ever met a newcomer? Yeah. You know how a newcomer's lying? Well, their mouth is moving, right? So I'd have to say the first honest thing I said when I got into A was, I don't know. Finally, some honesty. I didn't know. I clearly did not know what I was doing. I needed help. So what's the honesty that we're really talking about here? Right. Number one, that we were alcoholic. That when we started drinking, we could not stop. Now it's the second part people tend to have a problem with because they want to mix and match this. And that our lives were unmanageable. Oh, well, my life's I'm managing my life just fine. Now, why? Because you think you have a lot of money. Let's go ask your wife and kids if they agree with that. Because I tell you now, they don't. They don't agree with it. Why we alcoholics think that materialism is comparable to, okay, we're talking about a mental illness here. Okay? Not the fact that you have a job or don't have a job or any of that. None of that matters. The fact is that you couldn't hold relationships. You don't feel useful. You're not spending time with your kids. You're not getting things done. You might lose your job at any second because you go in drunk. Yeah, that's not manageable. In fact, in fact, functioning alcoholic is in and of itself is an oxymoron, right? So when it comes to honesty, I know it's the first principle. Hi, Angel. But we also have to remember that when we're dealing with somebody new, they don't realize that, just like me, when I first got here, I didn't realize how I was lying. I didn't see it. It wasn't until that fourth. So what are we going to allow for? As honest as they can be. As honest as they can be at the time. Isn't that enough? Being honest about the fact that you're alcoholic, your life is unmanageable, I think is good enough to start. Yeah. I think it's a great place to start. It's a mighty beginning. The second principle is hope. Step 2 is hope. Why is that there? Because we're introducing God. We're introducing the higher power, right? Now, by the time you're about to hit step 2, you've probably gone to a few meetings. You've talked to some other people in the program who have recovered, and it's like they're reading your mail. It's like they've been following you around your whole life, and you didn't know it because their story is a lot like yours, right? And that terminal uniqueness starts to go away. And when the terminal uniqueness starts to go away, and we see that other people might have some of the same problems as us and they're getting through them, that brings us hope because we were told that there was no solution for us. We were told that there was nothing left for us but to either quit drinking or death. That's what we weren't presented with the other things because in a clinical setting, they're not going to do that. So, hope is a big part. Is the opposite of our loneliness. But the biggest part is the introduction of a higher power, at least trying, at least being open minded enough to to at least look at it and maybe give it a try a little bit. All right. Faith is step 3. Now, step 3 is the last of the non action steps, but it requires more willpower, dare I say, willpower than any of these other steps. It's a big one. Give me a few minutes. I'll call you. Bye. All right. So step 3 is faith, right? This is where we are going to turn our will and our life over to the care of God. And depending on how thoroughly and fearlessly you do this step will determine how well the rest of the program works. How earnestly. It is still a feeling. And that is okay. You're going to do the 3rd step prayer. It's going to feel weird. You might feel a change immediately. You may not. But I can tell you right now, if you're taking the program seriously, in 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to say, I feel different. I feel different. Something feels different. All right. Step 4, courage. It is not by accident that faith became before courage, because my courage is faith. Faith and courage, in this sense, are the same thing. I have courage that God is going to leave me unharmed while I'm going through this process, or that the consequences, maybe to some of these things, aren't going to be as bad as I thought that they were. Okay, now when it comes to the 4th step, your mind hopefully is starting to clear by this time. It could take up to 28 days. It might even be longer. All right. So, courage. And why do we need courage? Because we are about to do a fearless and thorough inventory. Okay, those are the key words to step 4, fearless and thorough. Causes and conditions. We're trying to get down to causes and conditions. And it's going to take courage in order to do that. Step 5, integrity. Kind of a weird one, right? You can't be forgiven for your sins until you admit them. It takes a lot of integrity to say, I did all of this. I did that. Yep, it was me. I'm now going to take accountability for all the things that I did wrong. I'm going to stand before another human being and my creator. I'm going to say, yo, I did these things. I don't want to do them again. Please show me another way. That's integrity. Step 6, willingness. Now, you'd think willingness would be closer. You'd think it'd be around step 1, 2, or 3. No. See, willingness. Why do we need willingness? Because we're about to face we're not just about to face our character defects, but we are about to approach other people to whom we have hurt, and I need to be willing to do that. In this case, what we're talking about with willingness is that we do not say no, I will not, I refuse to get rid of that character defect. I refuse to look at it. It's things like that. Yeah. Well, Angel says, I don't even know how I used to live like that. Yeah, huh? It seems like a dream, doesn't it? Kinda. It almost doesn't seem real. I get that. Sometimes I'm like, how in the fuck did I pull off ever living? I never ate. I ate one Hot Pocket a day for like 3 years. I don't know how I made it. I have no idea. Step 7, humility. Why humility? Why humility? Because step 7 is all about perfection. It's about perfection. Yeah, Angel, it's more like a nightmare than a dream. Good point. Now, what are we doing? Well, are we going to be perfect? No. But we're going to use perfection as an ideal to reach for. And that would be God. Well, humility is asking God to help you do that. What does God want in this situation? We're going to start thinking differently, right? We're going to have something, God, I need some direction here. I think I know what to do, but I'd really like to hear from you on what, am I doing it the right way? Right? Step 8, brotherly love. We are now going to start utilizing unconditional love so that we can approach these people, because some of these people did hurt us too. All right. I got to speed this up a little bit because I make a call. Angel says, I treated people like chess pawns. Yeah. You're smarter than me, because mine was more like checkers. Connect 4, maybe. Brotherly love, because we're going to need to be able to approach these people. Step 9, my favorite principle, justice. Justice. It's not forgiveness. Nope. Forgiveness is not in here. Forgiveness is not a principle. Right? Forgiveness happened in step 5, and the only real forgiveness that goes on is you forgiving yourself for your past derelictions. It's really the only thing that it's utilized for in this sense. Now, if you want to get a little bit more religion-y, people want to be forgiven because they want to go to heaven. Well, guess what? I don't get to decide that. So therefore, that part of the forgiveness is off the table for me. So what we're dealing with is justice. Let me tell you real quick the difference. I used to say sorry, and sorry from an alcoholic means I plan on doing that again, but probably even worse. All right. That's what that means. So when we go make our amends, I hardly ever said I was sorry. I still say I'm sorry. Maybe I run into something. Oh, I'm sorry. And that was something that really could be helped or whatever, right? Now, what's the difference? Well, before I used to run my mouth, but I never followed through. But now I went through 4 and 5. I'm like, holy shit, look at all these people I hurt. I need to go back and make amends. I'm going to tell you what an amends is. Change behavior. That's the definition of amends. There's nothing about sorry. I did something wrong, so I went and changed because brotherly love, because I love you. I changed because I love you. That's justice. Now, instead of running our mouth, we go to our sponsors, we go to our closed mouth friends, our AA meetings or whatever. We say, this is what's going on. How do I handle it? We get the right thing, and then we go change. Now we've brought it to justice. But without honesty, hope, faith, courage, integrity, willingness, humility, and brotherly love, you can't have justice. You can't. Right? Lady Justice, she holds scales. It's about balance. About balance. Step 10, perseverance. Welcome to the first maintenance step. Okay. Perseverance means doing all of these to make sure. Okay. So in this case, step 10. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make amends as things start to pop up instead of letting them pile up and then doing another fourth step again. It is continuing on with my prayer and my meditation, which leads us into step 11, spiritual awareness, getting a better conscious contact with your higher power. And you are probably at this point about to have a spiritual experience or your spiritual awareness. Service, step 12, give away what was freely given to you with no expectation of anything in return. That is service. I tell you, you're still going to get something out of it, though. You will. I'll tell you what you're going to get out of it. A good day, which is all you need because all we have is today. Nothing else matters. Nothing else is going on. Not right now, it's not. And what does all that do? It allows me to live in the day, to live in the now. Because without that, I am not going to find peace. I'm not going to find serenity. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And keep on trudging.